we have with us, we have Leon Ariel Mellul. He's a Raelian chief rabbi and an Alliance for Extraterrestrial Diplomatic Contact. He has an extensive background doing over, I don't know how many lectures and how many countries he's been, but he is a representative for this amazing diplomatic services that are going to change the way that we look at our relationships with our extraterrestrial creators, shall we say. So welcome to the show, Leon.
Thank you, Barbara. Thank you for welcoming me in your show. It's a pleasure to be with you, and we are here to raise consciousness to the entire humanity and bring peace and love, and to bring them a message of the utmost important, which is the one that will lead us to peace and love, and mostly to become humans again, the minute we'll understand, because we have all been divided by religions, by cultures, by racism, etc., etc. And now it's time to open our mind, to open our eyes, and look for the truth, because the truth is out there.
Mm-hmm. And to see where we're maybe a lot more alike than different.
Well, we all are alike. We all have been created by the same extraterrestrial civilization called the Elohim. And if you want me to start with the full story, fantastic revelation, I will go with it.
Let's do that.
Wow. Listen, to start with, to make everybody aware of this wonderful message, in 1973, a man that was a sport car magazine was telepathically induced to go to a certain place. He was driving to his office, and then all of a sudden he felt the urge to reach a certain point or certain place, mostly, which is the Puy de la Sola in the center of France, in the center of an old volcano. And then he stopped his car and started climbing the mountain and arrived to the center of this volcano. And then he asked himself, what I'm doing here? I have work to do. It's winter time. I'm coming here with my family on summertime for picnic, and now I'm here today. What I'm here for? Then he was going to leave, and all of a sudden he saw something shining in the skies. He thought at the beginning it was a helicopter with two lights, two beams, one up and one down. And he saw it coming down. Then he got a little bit, suspicious. And he said, well, too bad I don't have a camera with me, because I would like to film with this or take a picture. And then when he started freaking out, when he saw a ladder opening and two legs coming down, at the beginning he saw the two legs and then a human being. He thought it was a child, and he decided not to move. He said, maybe they will believe I am a tree or something and they will leave. He was like afraid. But then he saw a human being, like the size of a child, about 5 feet or a little bit less, that approached him in a very nice way, in a very kind way, no aggressivity, no weapons, nothing. And he approached to him, and the man that was Claude Vorillon, he was called Claude Vorillon at the beginning, asked him, do you speak French? Because he was just speaking French. Mm-hmm. So the extraterrestrial replied, I speak all languages of the world. Mm-hmm. Then he was surprised that this extraterrestrial was speaking French, was replying to him in French. Then he asked him another question. Do you come here often? He said, yes, I come to Earth many times. And today I come to meet with you. You're married, you're Claude Vorillon, you're married, you have a sport car magazine, you have 2 children. And today we telepathically induce you to come here to meet with you because we have a very special message to give you. And I would like to invite you to my craft and give you this message. He entered his craft. They sit, they had 2 chairs. One was higher for the extraterrestrial and one was lower, that they will see each other in the eyes. And he told him, we are the Elohim mentioned in the original Hebrew Bible, the Tanakh. We are the ones that came to earth over 25,000 years ago and created all kinds of life with mastering of genetic manipulations of DNA. We are the ones that sent all prophets from all religions, among the most important ones, Moses, Jesus, Buddha, Muhammad, and many others, like there were 40 other prophets in Israel. And today, we want to give you this message because it's time you people understand. In 1945, you have reached a certain age that you have started with atomic bombs, and people started bombarding Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Now, with this atomic experience and manipulations of atoms, you can auto-destruct yourself or you can progress a lot. And we don't want you to auto-destruct yourself because you are our children. We have let you progress, and now it's time for you to understand that we have created you, and one day you will be able to create also in another planet or on your planet. So it's time for you to understand, stop praying, stop thinking we are gods, and thinking just we are another extraterrestrial civilization, as simple as that. Now we're gonna have to give you this mission, first of all, that you will go through the world and spread our message. And the second one is to build us an embassy, which is what the Jewish people call the third temple, where we will come with all the prophets and give you our scientific heritage ahead of you 25,000 years. Then he told this man that he was going, if he wanted to come every day, that he shouldn't talk to no one about it. For 6 days, he dictated him a book, which was called at the beginning, the book which tells the truth. And now we call it intelligent design, because everything, every life the Elohim have created was with designers, was with the genius, was with the artists, which they have a technology to reproduce it alive today. Mm-hmm. As they are 25,000 years ahead of us, it's very even difficult to imagine their technology or the way they, mm-hmm. the experience they had. And this is what our ancestors, our primitive ancestors, thought they were miracles, because there were no miracles. It was a difference of civilization and an advance of technology.
Okay, with Zachariah Stitchin's work, with the Sumerians were coming. Are these ET race similar to that race? Would you say, or?
Well, Sumerians, as Zachariah Sitchin mentioned many times, the Sumerian tablets are mentioning about extraterrestrials. Even you have hieroglyphs in Egypt that showing airplanes and aircrafts and UFOs and all that. But as you know, we have been created by this extraterrestrial called Elohim. And of course, there are thousands and thousands and millions of civilizations out there in the space, because the space and the universe is infinite. Mm-hmm. But they are the one that created us, and I am here, like, to spread this message, because I am a Jew originally born from a religious Jewish family with religious background. I have studied Hebrew. I've studied the Torah. And, when I was a child, I always had questions and never got answers. And always I was asking, and, I was a little bit like a black sheep from the family, always asking questions and always doubting. And one day I came across with a book, which was called The Book Which Tells the Truth. And today we call it Intelligent Design.
Yes.
That book, when I read it, I felt like it was the revelation of my life, because it changed my life. Not only changed my life, but it answered all my questions since I was a child. Because I always felt different, and I was never satisfied with being part of the group. I was always trying to find out, to search, to commit sins, what they call, just to see what was happening, and nothing happened.
Sorry.
You still recording?
We're still here.
Because I don't know if it was cutting or not.
It just came back on. I'm really sorry for this. But sometimes if the vibration's really high, which yours is, and you have an important message, and where the force comes to stop it a little bit, and we just stay grounded and persevere, and usually the technical difficulties get worked out. Okay.
This message is, as I mentioned, is of the utmost importance to the entire humanity, because we're getting very close to a contact to welcome them back. And this is the reason why we want to build an embassy, which is called in Hebrew the third temple, that we can welcome this extraterrestrial civilization who are our creators from space. And they're called the Elohim, as I mentioned before.
Yes.
In ancient Hebrew means those who come from the skies.
I love that.
Well,
Quite an undertaking. This started, the first plans was that about 30 years ago or so, that he had this. Did he have the idea, or can you talk a little bit about Rael, right? And
sure.
his.
As I mentioned before, Rael was telepathically induced to reach a certain point in the center volcano in the center of France. And then he had an encounter with this extraterrestrial, which gave this wonderful message and asked him, first of all, he changed his name to Rael, and which is the root of the word Israel. Then he asked him to build them an embassy, to have an extraterritoriality where they can come and give us their scientific heritage, which is ahead of ours 25,000 years.
Right.
Because at the beginning, they started to create all kinds of plants. They were in the planet, and they started creating life. But at a certain point, those creatures, those people they created, they escape and they kill or damage or hurt some people on their planet. Then it was forbidden to create life on their planet. At a certain point, the technology was going too far. And they told him, okay, you can go to space, find another planet far from here and create life if you want. Then they came they found our planet, they came, they managed it, they made one continent out of it and start making laboratories. They made 7 laboratories to create life on our planet. The first laboratory was exactly where they have the Wailing Wall, where the Jewish people pray. Second one was the Pyramid of Egypt. And the Pyramid of Egypt, if you know the history of the Egyptian people, all the pharaohs wanted to be buried in those pyramids because they knew they were laboratories of creation of life. So in their mind, because they were also ignorant, they thought, if after our death we are buried in those pyramids, so we will revive, as they were laboratories of creation of life. Of course, it didn't happen because the Elohim have left their laboratories, but that was the reason we had this pyramid, and there were other pyramids in also for the Mayas and South America and many other places. So they created 7 races. And at a certain moment, they were making contests, they created, before creating man, because that was 13,000 years ago. Mm-hmm. But when they come to our planet, they start creating all plants, animals, beautiful colors, and all the animals you see were intelligent designs. Mm-hmm. The colors, with the sounds, with the birds, with a lot of feathers and colors and flowers and all that. And they were making contests on all that, from all the laboratories of creation of life. And at a certain time, they started creating man to their image, like it's written in the Bible, creating man to our image after our likeness. Mm-hmm. They started creating the first one, the first man and woman, etc., etc. But before they created the first man that everybody called Adam, they created Lilith, which is in the Zohar, which is where the Kabbalah is coming from. The first creation was Lilith, who was hermaphrodite. It was male and female. Mm-hmm. Then, they created other human beings and they made contests, and the most smartest one were in the region of the Middle East, even if it was one continent. And then they decide to, the women were beautiful and they had children with them. And this is why many of the prophets were children of this extraterrestrial and women of the earth, like mm-hmm. Jesus was, for example. Mm-hmm. Jesus is, because not was, he is the son of an extraterrestrial and woman of the earth. And after their death, these prophets and many other people are recreated, because the Elohim have 2 planets. One which is a planet of the Elohim, and another planet which is called the Garden of Eden. In this Garden of Eden, which in Hebrew is Eden, Gan Eden, the Garden of DNA is called in Hebrew. And in this Garden of DNA, they compensate people who have been good for humanity, who have worked for humanity, who have been useful to humanity. They can recreate them after the death, because they have the technology to create a human being just by one cell. And today they don't even need this cell, because they have the record of every human being before they are born on our planet.
So there's a book on the cloning process, right? With the yes to human cloning. I think there's
absolutely, because that's the way they started with human cloning. And when in 1975, it was another encounter that they took Rael to their planet. Then he met with other prophets, and then they removed one of his cells from his forehead, and they created a copy of himself. So what they have reached technology that, they live between 700 and 1,000 years without any disease, not getting old, nothing. And at one certain point, when the body starts getting a little bit weaker or too old, because after that period of time, it's about time to change it, they have the technology to recreate exactly the same look, the same person. And then they download the intelligence, the knowledge, all his memories into a new body. Like today, we buy a new computer and we take all the memory from our old computer and put it and download it into a new one. So they have technology to do that with human beings. so they can live eternally that way.
Mhm. So and that is what Rael has done, is access that. He's able to access like past lives or past information.
They show him how they could do it with himself, but just for a few minutes, just to show him that, you know, this is the way we do it, that he could understand. Because no matter what imagination we can have, we cannot even think, we don't have a slight idea what is the technology of 25,000 years ahead of us.
Yeah. Well, and if when you build your diplomatic your ambassadors, where all your ambassadors meet, then this is a place also where, if I read right, where they would have a place to help us with technology as well, and a technology exchange for the everyday person, in a way, shall we say?
That's what they want, that we could be able to understand and start believing, because believing it was then, but today we have the technology to understand.
Mm-hmm.
To understand that we all have been created equal, that we all have been divided through religions, to the way we have been taught by
Conditioned.
our conditions. Today we are in a system that slavery is over, but it didn't end. It's even worse, because human beings today are slaves of the system, which is a system that everybody have houses, cars, wealth, etc., but doesn't belong to them, belongs to the banks. So they need to work like slaves to pay all that.
Yeah, I loved where you wrote, I read that instead of living to work, that you live to be creatively expressed.
Absolutely, because we haven't been created for that. We have been created just to progress, to develop ourselves, to love and care about each other, and to help each other, to share with each other. Mm-hmm. But not with that greed that we live today, you know, the countries that have budgets of billions, like United States and other countries, of course, billions for the army. Billions for weapons, billions for that, and there are 25,000 people every day starving and dying from hunger. And that's, I mean, we cannot call ourselves humans anymore, because that's not human. I mean, even the way we live, it's like one is trying to kill each other, no matter what. You know, look what's happening between Ukraine and Russia. And I'm not here to make politics, but that's all manipulation to sell weapons on one side and on the other and make a big show. And they give the order, they send the bomb, they send the tanks and send the airplanes. And what? They're sitting in their offices, and after that they shake hands and goodbye. But those who die, they have died for a stupid idea, defending their flag and their country, their nation. What's that for? What's that for? We have just imaginary borders, but the planet is one, and we are one with everyone and with every life on our planet, because everything we see, it's part of us, and we are part of the whole.
Right.
This is the representation of our symbol, which is infinity in space and time. And this is the same you can see on the screen behind me. The two triangles which represent the Star of David are the infinity small and the infinity large. And just for example, we live on planet Earth. We are part of the solar system. This solar system is on a galaxy. This galaxy is on a universe. And this universe is infinite. And one atom of our cells is a universe, infinite universe, where there are galaxies, where there are solar system, where there are planets, and where there is life at a very, very, very infinity small scale. And it's the same when we look outside. We are also living all our entire universe is an atom of a cell of someone that, is alive, but we don't know. It's not a God. It could be a cat, it could be a worm, it could be a plant, it could be something, but everything is inside everything. And we are all part of a whole. And the entire humanity and all the animals, all the pets, all the pets, all the flowers, all the trees, it's part of us. And we all have been created for a reason. When you see animals, the way they live, some animals eat others and eat garbage and flies and all that. They all have been created for a purpose. And this is why we call it intelligent design, because everything was figured out for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And we are here for a reason. And the reason we are here for today is to welcome our creators from space, who are the Elohim.
Yeah. Well, and I like, because usually we're taught that our Earth needs to grow up, find the peace, and play well with others before we're qualified to go off planet, right? Or to have extraterrestrials come here. But if you can have them have a place that they can all come to, right? And so it's like it makes it more real instead of it's just in your mind. When you have a place, right, that's grounded, and I know you have a place picked out for this, then it makes it more real, and it also is a place located for them to actually come down and start to walk among us, right? Again, like they used to in the old days. They used to.
Unfortunately, today, the United States, they say balloon, or they say, oh, we shut down a UFO. I mean, an extraterrestrial civilization who is 25,000 years ago ahead of us. They can fly to the fastest of the speed of light, and they, their F-16 or whatever, can shut a UFO. I mean, if these extraterrestrials wanted to destroy us, they could have done it, or invade us. They could have done it thousands of years ago.
Exactly. Are we more like their children in a way? They must have a lot of patience with us. I know with working with Sasquatch, they have a lot of patience with us.
And this is a reason we're preparing humanity, and we are in contact with many governments to get a piece of land or to buy a piece of land. But we should get the extraterrestriality, that nobody they can come and attack them inside. Mm-hmm. Because like every embassy, they have the extraterrestriality status, right, which no army or no country, or even the country that welcomes this embassy, cannot go inside whenever they want. They need to be welcome. And these extraterrestrials, they can watch us like anytime they want, but they want to come in peace. They want to come in a certain place, and by building this embassy, which is the third temple the Jewish people are waiting for, and the Messiah the Jewish people are waiting for, who is Rael, the ambassador of these extraterrestrials, the last messenger. And then we need to welcome them with respect, with love, not to see a UFO and start running after with our F-16, which are like little toys for them, Mm-hmm. We show no respect because they prefer to believe and be on two crutches. One is God and the other one is the soul, which there is no one or the other. And if you take them out, the two crutches, they crash down. I mean, they fall to the floor because they don't stand in their legs. And the majority of humanity is like that. I mean, first of all, we have to understand, because today we have a technology to understand. Believe it was then, because we didn't have any technology, our primitive ancestors, when they saw these people coming from space, they were just bending down their face to earth and just praying, and they were afraid. Like Moses, when he saw the bush that was in fire, it was not fire, otherwise it would have burned. It was a beam that was red, and it was on the bush, and he thought it was fire because he had no electricity. They had no knowledge about that. And many, many things like that. It's like full of stories like that are mentioned in the Bible. And many of the prophets of Israel, and even, as I mentioned, Jesus, is the son of an extraterrestrial, which is the most important one, called Yahweh, and the woman of the earth. And that's probably the reason why his mother was a virgin, Mary, because she was probably inseminated artificially. But when you talk to a priest and all that, well, they understand, but they try to change the conversation. It's like when I talk to the rabbis, they try to take you to other interpretations from other rabbis because they have put everyone in a bag. They close it very well, and the other one wants to be at the same level as the other one, and then he makes his own little bag, and they try to grab everyone and put them inside that no one will discover the truth. As there are many yeshivot in Israel, which are the rabbinical schools, where students are not supposed to read certain verses and comment between the two of them. They should leave them alone and go to the rabbi that will tell them the story he wants to tell them. This is why there are so many interpretations, so many division among man, because everyone wants to have his own religion. Everybody pray the same God, and everybody's killing each other like idiots. And this is where we're standing today. And that's why we want to welcome this civilization, but we want to welcome them in peace, because when they will arrive, they will.
So do you think they'll come only after we've gotten it together here and we found peace, or can they come and help us find peace?
Well, according to the message they give to Rael, which is the last messenger, the Elohim will come when we will build them an embassy, which means at the minute a country will accept to welcome this extraterrestrial civilization, then they will be recognized as such. First of all, if we welcome them, then we will have the honor and privilege to welcome our fathers from space. But we should welcome them in peace and love. We cannot welcome them by people who are starving and others are billionaires, people who are building and manufacturing weapons to sell them to the two parties that they will kill each other and they will make money. We cannot welcome them in a system of monetary system, which is the one that, because there are two problems in the planet. First of all, the religions, and the second one is the money.
Yeah.
If you cut out all that, there will be no competition.
Exactly.
Regarding a black and white or a yellow or an Asian people. And I mean, if you remove the skin of a white man and the skin of a black man, the inside is the same.
Yeah.
It's a different color of skin. So as Raeli was mentioning recently, we're killing and being racist one against each other. So imagine with thousands and billions of extraterrestrial civilizations, they're not all look like us. The Elohim created us to their image, but they have been created by others that maybe they were not looking exactly like them. And by billions of other civilizations out there, we are extraterrestrial. They could, as Rael mentioned, they could look like, spiders or something like that with 8 legs or 6 eyes. When you with the stupid mentality we have today and the way of believing we have today, the only thing that they're going to say, well, shoot them, kill them.
Yeah. Well, and that's what you do when you're ignorant, right? When you don't know.
Well, unfortunately, we're still 96% of ignorant on this planet. Well, You can
Right.
see it happening, and you say, well, you say, we have reached a point that the Elohim told Rael, we are 99.5, we have 99.5 chances to auto-destruct ourselves.
Yeah.
So
Well,
we
and
have-
I've heard that they're not going to let us do that anyway.
I hope not. I hope not. I hope not, because they're our only salvation. And this is why we are all fighting together to welcome them and to build this embassy and to make an alliance with all the organizations, like people like you and many other, thousands of others, to make this alliance, to build an embassy to welcome extraterrestrials.
And it's not just one race, right? It's just
Well, we want to welcome the Elohim, who are the ones that created us. But when
right.
they have the embassy on Earth, they will invite other civilizations which are in contact with them.
Yeah,
Because-
that's what I'm saying, is that it's just the beginning of this great diversity there as well.
Absolutely. But today, if we welcome an extraterrestrial civilization, like Ariel mentioned, that looks maybe like a spider with a level of consciousness much higher than the entire humanity here,
Right.
we will try to kill them because they're different.
Yeah.
And we're trying to kill a black man because we're white, and we're trying to kill the other one because he doesn't think or believe like us. And that's the crazy world we're living on. And as you mentioned, this extraterrestrial wants to welcome probably other civilizations as well. But first of all, we need to welcome those who created us. And this is why we want to build this embassy. And the Jewish people, who are the people of the book, which are the ones that could understand, because it's written, and I have all the citations. I have been lecturing for over 35 years in different countries, in United States, in many countries in Europe, and I have lived in Israel for 18 years, where I lecture in Hebrew, and that's a big difference, because Jews worldwide, not all of them understand Hebrew, but Israelis, that's their language. And when you show the citations from the original Bible, there is no doubt, and they're refutable, that the Elohim are an extraterrestrial civilization and not a simple God.
Yeah, and can we go into that a little bit? Especially your on Ezekiel. I found that pretty fascinating.
In what?
With the Ezekiel, with the Ezekiel teaching, and with the UFO. I wrote it down. It's having to do with Ezekiel and I guess the flying chariots in Ezekiel.
Oh, you're talking about Van Dinaken, the chariots of God.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't think I was. I guess we could go there.
Yeah, I thought this is the one you were mentioning. That's the person you were mentioning?
Yeah, but it having to do with I guess it's in our history. It's been in our history that we've been contacted all along, and if we're making a beautiful diplomatic alliance for extraterrestrials and a place for them to come, then it's like we have to be at peace. We have to be in our hearts. We have to be open-minded. We have to bring the love part in, because that's where everyone meets, no matter what galaxy they come from, right? And so,
of course, as I mentioned, first of all, we should welcome the Elohim, who created us to their image. It means they look like us and we look like them. Not exactly like them, because their eyes are in almond shape, and they look much younger and smaller, and their skin, like it's mentioned in the book Intelligent Design, where you can download for free. You're going to rael.org, our website, and you can download them for free in any language you want. They're available for everyone. And in this book, it's a wonderful revelation. And we have been asking for this piece of land and this extraterritoriality status to a state of Israel, and they refused for 7 times. And the state of Israel have been given the land of Israel for only one purpose: to welcome the last messenger, which is the Mashiach, which is the Messiah, the long-awaited Messiah, and to help him build this embassy, which is a third temple, to welcome the Elohim. Otherwise, Israel have no reason to exist. And if they continue in that path, the ex-prime minister of Israel, which was Ehud Barak, who is the general of the army and one of the person that have more grades in the army, have mentioned recently that the state of Israel would not survive over 80 years.
Mm.
And they're already in the 75th anniversary of the creation of the state of Israel, which means they have only 5 years to accept to give this piece of land and build this third temple, which is the embassy, where we're going to welcome the Elohim. Yeah. Otherwise, they have no reason to exist. And as you know, they had many diasporas and they lost their country many times.
Right, right.
As Yahweh, which is who is the most important of these extraterrestrial, mentioned, my people are the people with the stiff neck. I mean, they don't listen, they don't bend, they don't understand, they don't want to, because Elohim have sent all the prophets Elohim have sent, they have put them in jail or they have killed them.
Mm-hmm. But you're chipping away, and you've been doing this for over 30 years, and you have over 817,000 supporters, and just every country, right, in every language. So, you know, it's really something to take a look at. You're getting stronger and stronger, and
absolutely,
and
you know,
lighter and lighter and lighter, right?
Yeah, we're getting very strong. We are in all continents. We have members worldwide, and you know, our movement is growing day after day. And besides that, this is such a clear revelation, and so simple to understand, that sometimes personally and many other people don't understand. Others don't understand. I mean, it's obvious, but they prefer to keep in their frame, in their box, not to go out.
Right. Well, part of it is too is that Rael, I think I'm saying that right, and you have had extraordinary experiences, and so once you have an extraordinary experience, you can't go back. You have you have to deal with it, right? And so you don't have the luxury of putting your head in the sand, right?
If you couldn't imagine the experiences I had with the Jewish communities worldwide, insults, death threats, I didn't name it, because they don't want one of the community, because they say we are one, but just for one, with the community, not with other humanity, well, not with the entire humanity, with themselves. No, you cannot go and say that, because that makes us ashamed. And that makes our religion looks full, because we are believers. And Rael met once with a rabbi, and Rael asked him, if Moses come today and tell you what this man is telling you, or this is the truth, that we have been created by extraterrestrial, will you believe him or will you believe the book? He said, no, I will believe the book. Like Jesus today, if he comes to the Vatican, they will kill him. Or maybe they will call an ambulance and put him in a psychiatric hospital, because he said, guy is crazy, he's telling he's Jesus.
And so some of the work too is you're planting seeds for the future. If they don't get it today, let's hope they go in a warp speed drive, because what you're saying is you have till 2030, right? Is that the date, or did he get a date? Do you have an exact date, or?
Well, between the embassy will be built between 2025 until 2030, and the Elohim should come between now and 2035. And I simply hope they will come as soon as possible. Otherwise, we're going to blow up.
Yeah.
Our goal is to save humanity, to make people understand. We're not here to convince. We're here to bring a message.
Yeah, to bring a message of love and peace. And you think it would be such a celebration that everyone would jump on the bandwagon in a way.
But let's not forget, we're living in the biggest and the best time of the history of mankind.
Yes, yes.
We have seen our parents, our grandparents, and the way they live, and the way we progress slowly, and our generation have seen it since part of them. We have seen, we had a beautiful youth. We were not just with phones and like idiots. We were playing with like all the kids.
Right, right.
To see the final revelation arriving, and we're going to see the humanity blossoming.
Yeah, I think so. And during that, we have to go through this chaos, right? This
in the middle of it.
yes, this destruction, so that we can have a rebirth in a way, right?
Yeah. Well, listen, people, they don't want wars, they don't want to kill each other, but the governments are pushing them to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, today, to fight and die for a piece of land, or die for a flag, or for your own country, that's completely stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Because when astronauts are on space and they see the planet Earth, the blue planet, beautiful, they don't see no borders. We have only borders with guards there and police and armies just to defend our borders. But we have the same humanity, and we're trying to kill each other, and we're damaging our planet, and we don't have another one where to go.
Mm-hmm.
For money.
Right.
It's really stupid.
For power or for control.
Power, because money brings them power.
Mm-hmm. And
many religious leaders, they don't want this. Some of them, they know about it. Mm-hmm. But they don't want that to happen, because it will remove their power, it will remove their salary, it will remove their prestige.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want that. They want to keep that, and it will disappear anyways.
Well, it's such control.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
The control is so heavy, it squeezes the human's life force out of them.
Sure, we're the slaves, the modern slaves now, the slaves of credit.
Yes, exactly.
Because we have to work to pay,
Yeah. Hey, and if I don't know who I am, I just got to check my credit score, and it will tell me who I am. That's just terrible,
That's the best way today, is not to have credit.
Yes, I agree.
Our grandparents, the person who had a car, he had to pay for his car.
Yeah.
For their houses. Today, everyone have houses, and everyone have 2 or 3 cars at home. And I mean, it doesn't belong to them. They work like slaves to pay all that. With an interest rate that you bring your money to the bank, they take it for peanuts. And when you go back to the bank, they tell you, what do you want your money for? And tell you have 20 or 30 or $50,000 in your bank account. You want to take 10,000 in cash. What do you want that for?
Yeah, it's none of their business, right?
I told him, that's not your problem. It's my money. Yeah, but we need to know. I mean, I don't have to tell you. It's none of your business.
Yeah. Well, we're almost to our first hour here, Leon, and I think what I'd like to do when we come back from our short break, I have some images of your beautiful Alliance for Extraterrestrial diplomatic contacts. So I'd like to show some of those images and continue some stories.
The embassy we want to build to welcome our creator, praise the Elohim.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. This is a new project for me. I'm just learning along with our listeners here today, here on Facebook at the Cosmic Oracle Show and on Revolution Radio. So we'll be right back in a few minutes when our break starts. And in the meantime, I've tried to post in Facebook several different places they can go to for your website. The number one place they should go to is, where is it? Maybe you could tell us again. Let's go here. Let's have people be able to go to allianceforet.org. Is that correct?
That's right. But I mean,
Okay.
the first message, which is a revelation, is Rael.org.
Okay.
What you see on the screen behind me,
Yes.
it's Rael, but not TV, it's .org, like
Okay.
organization.
Well, that's pretty simple. I love it.
Yeah, RAEL.org, as simple as that.
Okay. I'm going to
And
put that in our Facebook.
mention, our books are downloaded. This message from this extraterrestrial, from the Elohim, can be downloaded for free in the language of your choice.
It's pretty spectacular. I'm not quite halfway through, but there's so much there. You have so much that you could spend a few months, right? So Cynthia Louise Schaefer says, one God, one love.
Oh, something very different. One of the most important sentences that there is in a Jewish script, love your neighbor like your own. And that's, I mean, everybody have forgot about it. We forgot about love, we forgot about caring, we forgot about sharing, we forgot about our neighbors and our humans, people who we don't even know who are exactly like us, who have been created like us.
Right. And that we have an expanded mind, it's expanded capacity. Yeah. That it fits in this, shall we call it a meat suit, right? But yeah. I'd like to talk also when we get back about death and what happens when we die and we leave this death suit.
Oh, that's another story.
Okay?
That's another story.
Hello, this is your host, Barbara Jean Lindsey, and we have with us an amazing guest. We're getting to know each other and getting to know his amazing project that he has that has been sent from extraterrestrials to Rael, and now our dear bishop, Chief Bishop Raelian Chief Rabbi Ariel Mellul is a big part of this happening to create an extraterrestrial alliance for extraterrestrial diplomatic contact. So we'll be getting back to him in just a moment. And until we do that, we would like to thank you for supporting Revolution Radio. Just go to revolution.radio. That's revolution.radio. Give whatever you can, $5, $10, $20, $1,000, whatever, to keep the computer school and the lights on. And we are all volunteers, so no one gets paid for any of this. That lets us talk about whatever we want to talk about and have the freedom to have whatever guests that we want on as well. That we've had amazing guests from UFO experiencers to ET contactees to artists and musicians and poets and diplomats. And thanks to you and your support, we're able to keep the Cosmic Oracle Show on for our eighth year. And so thank you for your support and for supporting my school, Esoterra. That's ESOTERA.US. And on my new classes start May 18th. I also do psychic readings, professional readings for over 30 years. And you can reach me there as well, Barbara@Esoterra.US. So let's get back in our deep dive with Leon. And Leon, I'm having some trouble with my computer heating up. And so we're going to try and see if I can share this and we'll see what happens. Okay. So I haven't had this problem in a while, but for some reason, it's not there. Okay. Let me go back here. Just a second. Let me go here because I want them to see how beautiful it is. Your concept of it is just gorgeous. And I really like for everyone to see this. So let's go here. Yeah, let's share. And it should show up. Yes, there it is. Now let's see if it pulls up for us. Okay. I hope you can see that. It looks Oh, there it is. Boom, there it is. So it's just gorgeous. It's just gorgeous. So where do you want to go with this? Where would you like to show the people, our listeners, for the Alliance for Extraterrestrial Diplomatic Contact? And we were saying you have 817,000 supporters, and you've done a lot of the work, the basic work of so that it is in alignment with the UN and their policies per se, or not. What would you say about that?
We don't see your screen anymore, Barbara.
Oh, you can't see it. Okay, then I'm gonna share because I think I'm having just it's just too much heat. So I think because it is in the 90s here today. So
I can.
Right.
What is this Alliance for Extraterrestrials that everybody will understand?
Yeah.
This Alliance for Extraterrestrials is for everyone who wants to help welcome on our planet our creators from space, the Elohim, who are the ones who created us to their image, as mentioned in the original Hebrew Bible. Some people don't believe we have been created by them, but that doesn't matter. As long as people understand that there are other extraterrestrial civilizations out there. This is why we want to build an embassy to welcome them. And we count on you to join the alliance, because we're always, and we all are looking for the same goal, to welcome these people from space, and to welcome not in our backyard. We need to build an embassy to welcome them. We need to build them a house, like the first temple that King Solomon built was not a temple for praying, was the house to welcome the Elohim. As he mentioned when he was talking to them, he mentioned to Yahweh Elohim, who is the most important of them. You live in the skies, and I will build you a house that you can come among your children to live, because we are their children. We are their creation. And they deserve our respect and our love, like our parents from space, our fathers from space. And the alliance is just to unify and to reunite everybody who wants to welcome, first of all, our creators from space, and then they will welcome our other civilizations, because there is a law of nature in the universe, which is, if we progress in peace and love, we're going to be able to travel to space and exchange with other civilizations and welcome them. And we will be welcome also in their planets. But for that, I think, unfortunately, we're still very far. But if we don't reach that level, the law of universe, the law of the extraterrestrial civilizations, that if you don't reach that level of peace and harmony, we will auto-destruct ourselves. I mean, we're not worth it to be part of that.
And we've done that in the past, when we, from what I understand, several times. And so this time we have a better chance if we can raise our vibration and be responsible, right? It's a degree of responsibility, and to right justice. If there's something, I tell people, just pick a cause of things in your books, like there's famine, there's so many bad things going on, that if we just pick one and start working with it, right, to raise us up, and so that we can go off planet, and can you imagine what we would learn and what we would explore and what we would create and what we would find? So we're not so pushed down, right? We're so squashed. It's a terrible word, but it feels like a hammer on us, right?
We have a lot to win and a lot to lose if we don't get there.
Mm-hmm.
We have so much to win with this by opening our mind and welcoming our creators from space. Otherwise, we're finished.
Yeah, yeah. But we
We're-
can't go on. We can't sustain the planet the way it is now. We just can't.
Absolutely. Absolutely not. And this is why we have in our organization, we have the 1 minute for peace organization, which is to meditate 1 minute every 59 minutes. We take 1 minute to meditate for peace, to send
That.
to the entire humanity. And we call it the 1 minute for peace.org as well.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
Besides that, I organize planetary meditations for peace, where we welcome thousands of people every second Saturday of every 2 months.
Oh, I want to go to that.
Well, I will send you all the information if you want.
Okay, I would love that. I would love that.
With your audience.
Yes, they would like it too. I think they would.
We can all meditate 1 minute for peace every 59 minutes, even if we are at home, if we are at work. I mean, it's 1 minute. Think about humanity. Don't think about just your neighbor, but think about faces you don't even know. Think about people from African continent, from Asia, from wherever you want, and send love. That's all. That's all. Send love, because animals, plants, trees, they're all part of us, and we are part of a whole. And we need to send love to everything that is alive on our planet, because we are part of that life. We cannot live without them, and they cannot live without us.
Yeah.
Animals can't live without us, that's for sure.
And so we're going to change the world. That's what this sounds like to me.
We're trying, and this is what you're doing, what we're doing, and many other organizations are doing, try to change the world.
Yeah, it needs it.
As I say, we are a minority because people don't want to understand. People want to keep their stiff neck.
Yeah, they want to keep it the way it is. And part of that, do you see, part of it is it's so controlled, you get used to that control. And in order to get to where we need to get to, you're going to have to open up, and you're going to have to trust, and you're going to have to surrender. And that's uncomfortable.
The right word. To give up and surrender of this crazy world where we're living.
And we can expect the best. We can expect better. We can expect amazing, right? It's kind of like a reset in a way, wouldn't you say?
You imagine to welcome an extraterrestrial civilization that we're living in the history, in the best time of mankind. In the best area and the best epoch of humankind we're living now. But, I mean, it's up to us to progress towards science, love, peace, and harmony, caring and sharing for each other, caring about our planet, caring about our ecology, caring about all that, or destroying the whole, including ourselves.
And starting with ourselves first, right?
Because you're right, starting with ourselves.
That's one to learn, Leon. I always did it on the outside, taking care of everybody else and me last. And so it's in my older years now that I'm learning, oh yeah, I'm important too. I got to take care of me first and foremost.
Absolutely. Absolutely. 50 years ago, when people were talking about extraterrestrials, everybody was laughing. They were the ones laughing.
Yeah. Well, we have the U.S. government, said it, and that they had a UAP and they showed the video. That changed everything. That day changed everything in the United States, for sure. Sure.
And no matter what they do, they will not be able to hide it anymore. Because it's the time we have reached a time of revelation, which is the word apocalypsis in Greek, which means revelation and not destruction. We are in the time of revelation.
Oh, I love that. So are you giving us hope here, Leon, today? Are you giving us hope?
I have been looking at a video a couple of days ago at the time where a prophet was mentioning Malachi, was a Hebrew prophet, a Jewish prophet. We have mentioned the time of the Vatican, and the Vatican is going to its end, and it will be the last pope in, I think it's this one. After that, all the religions will collapse slowly by slowly. That's, I guess, people are understanding, deserting. They leave the churches, they leave synagogues, they leave mosques. People want to live. Young generations want to be free.
Right. And again, we've hit on it earlier about that we have the right to work, and instead of having the right to work, we have the right to create. I forget your words. Your words were great. Something like that. What was the right to work versus the right to fulfillment?
Yeah, but not for greed.
Right.
Not for greed. For loving, and by caring, we love. Not just to give a donation to have it deductible from income tax. You need to give something to someone that he will thank you and honor you. Give with love.
Yeah.
Give without anyone knowing. You don't need thanks. It's like sharing, like becoming humans again, because today we're not behaving like as humans.
Right. So could we be that advanced human civilization we're looking for?
It's our chance and it's our goal. And this is what you, myself, and thousands and billions of people today are working for.
Right.
We will succeed.
I think so.
Yeah.
The First Nations call it like you're chipping away. You just start chipping away, and you can't do it all by 5 o'clock, though. Wouldn't that be nice?
Time is working for us.
Yes.
More signs in the skies.
Yes.
We have more and more signs in the skies, and we have crop circles all over.
Yes, exactly.
Why they want to visit us? Oh, who are these? They want to invade us. I mean, don't be stupid. If they created us and were 25,000 years ago, and they start creating man 13,000 years ago, they could have blown up ourselves thousands of times or invade us just in the Elohim have reached a certain level of technology. They can move a solar system from one point to the other.
Right.
I imagine if they want to come here to Earth, it's like, for them, they can come to Earth just the time to think about it.
I love that.
They can appear anytime.
Yeah.
But they don't want to be like invaders. They want us to understand and welcome.
Right.
What they want.
Yeah. And
this is what to raise people level of consciousness of humanity to reach to that point. I mean, we cannot force them. We're not here to convince them. We are here to give them a message from our creators from space, the Elohim. As simple as that. I mean, those who have ears, they will listen, and those who have eyes, they will see it. And those who don't, too bad. Yeah. But we are all part of a whole, and we cannot survive one without the other.
Right, and the diversity of it all. I love that part. If anything about being a human, I love that we have such diversity. If we expand that there, right?
To live with each other and to care about each other and to love each other. Yeah. I don't love this one because you have different color. I don't love this one because you have a different mentality, a different religion, a different sex, or he behaves like that. Or I mean, that person is part of us, and we're part of that person.
Yeah. So one of the things that has to go would be war, hunger, and poverty.
Well, I hope we will not reach that where, but we should start behaving like humans, start stopping all weapons on Earth, destroying all that because we don't need it. I mean, on one hand, they make weapons to kill each other and they create problems, they create conflicts, and on the other hand, they ask to send money for that country because they need it. They create a war like it happening between Ukraine and Russia.
Mm-hmm.
The United States they have already invaded the entire Europe. They want to put missiles at the border of Ukraine, which is close to Russia. And then they complain, oh, the Russians attack. But what are you expecting for?
Right.
For war, not for Russians, not for anyone. But I mean, if you think about it, what can you expect for? You put missiles because you want to destroy Russia, that the United States could invade the entire world. Russia doesn't have military bases all over the world. China doesn't have, but the United States have thousands of military bases all over the world. For what? To control?
To protect.
Always have trying to control the world. I mean, and you see it also in the movies. I mean, they have made movies about the cowboys killing the Indians.
Yeah.
The Mayans, the Spanish people arriving to discover America, or beside not necessarily to discover, to steal their gold and bring it to Spain. Mm-hmm. And then you have the Americans that have made the movie about, boxing or whatever, the war between Americans and Russians. Mm-hmm. And now they're making movies about humanity and extraterrestrials, and the Americans are the saviors of the world, and they are the ones that create most of the conflicts worldwide.
Well, I do have I'm going to go back a moment. I'd like to get to the basic of what, and I know someone asked this, what is a Raelian? Raelian, they want to know, is it an extraterrestrial species, or is it after
the name of Rael is the roots of the word Israel.
Oh.
The people of Israel are the ones that have been elected, or they're calling chosen people by the Elohim. Mm-hmm. Because they were supposed to reveal to the world, they were supposed to be the light of humanity, to reveal this message to humanity, but they kept it from themselves.
Oh, I see.
And now it's time that they will wake up, but they don't want to. They're, as I mentioned, they're the people with the stiff neck.
Yes, yeah, I love that quote. I'm going to use that. I like that.
They have a soul, nobody else have it, and we will be immortals and this and that. But I mean, stop this. I mean, all the religions will collapse.
Yeah.
And we need that. If all the religions collapse and the money will disappear, there is no more competition. There is no more war. Right. Because weapons are made for a reason. Right. The manufacturers of weapons are running the world. The banks are running the world. Because if the bankers put in power, there are some people that, presidents and prime minister are just simple puppets. Mm-hmm. They're put there to follow their orders of those behind scene that we don't see. We know who they are, because now we all know who these people are. But behind scenes, the other one, you have the banks that lend money to the governments. And if they don't do whatever they want, they close the faucet. They are the weapon manufacturers. They are the pharmaceutical industry, and they have the newspapers. They have the whole. It's a group of people. They have the whole, and they control everyone.
Yeah. So how do we get out of this? And what are our, let's say, some next steps for stepping out of this? And
by raising our level of consciousness, by meditating for peace, by caring for each other, by loving each other. This is the only way and the only solution that we have not to auto-destruct ourselves, because we cannot go another 20 years like that.
Yeah.
We can't. It's impossible.
Mhm.
We will disappear way before. Way before.
Yeah. Well, and have you had any of your teachings about the extraterrestrials stopping a total nuclear war? We were going to talk about this. I'm glad I remembered.
I know that sometimes there were tests of missiles and bombs and things like that, and they have been stopped. I cannot certify that they have been stopped by extraterrestrials, but I believe so, because everything was functioning and the button doesn't work at a certain point. So if they want to intervene, they will, and I hope they will, because with these crazy people all over the world, imagine what happened in Hiroshima and Nagasaki in 1945 with one atomic bomb. And today we have not one atomic bomb, we have thousands of atomic bombs in different countries from all over the world. I mean, we can auto-destruct ourselves and blow up the whole planet, not one time, not 10 times. At least 10,000 times.
Right, and that causes a threat to the whole continuum.
Of course. We are trying to blow up our planet, trying to make conflicts and wars, and then we don't have another planet where to go. What are we doing all this for? It's just a matter of money and power. I should control the other one. I should control the other country. I should control my neighbor. I should be the boss, and you should be my worker. Slavery.
Yeah.
Because what people are working for today, well, some people condemn prostitutes. Well, everybody's prostituting himself for a salary. When someone goes to work, he prostitutes himself for his boss. As simple as that, you know. If you don't work, I mean, when your boss gives you a salary, he's not doing you a favor. You're doing him a favor because you're working for him. You give him money. It's like governments. If we stop all paying taxes and all the people, all the soldiers are saying, no, I'm not going to war, what's going to happen with the government?
Right. Way back in the day, I was at school, and one of the teachers stood up and she said, what would happen if they had a war and no one showed up?
That will be very funny. That will be very funny.
Don't you love that? And that stuck with me. That was way back in high school, and that stuck with me forever. And I still love that concept. I love that idea that we could have peace. We have to dream it to make it happen, right?
Of course. And we have to act. Say it, to do it, first of all, to think it, to start working on it, and to do it. Yeah.
We had a question too, and this is going off into another little weave, shall we say, in our beautiful carpet we've woven today, about nanotechnology, and that was in your book. So could we touch on that for a moment?
Well, nanotechnology, it will be great, because one day we will be able to take, let's say, a pill or something, and the nanotechnology will operate in our body and will cure any disease.
It's pretty amazing, isn't it? I'm new to that.
We're reaching a technology. It's very simple, Barbara. Today, majority of people worldwide believe in a God. This is a big problem. Besides Buddhists, all of them, they believe in a single God, and it's monotheism and all that. But the minute one man, this is why they're forbidding human cloning in different countries, because if one man is going to create another one to his image, the mystery of God is over. And they don't want that to happen because the governments will have no control over people. Religious people will have no control on their population, on their followers. But they're going to fall. They're going to fall down, I am sure. We are a minority today, but more and more every day, people are waking up.
Right. And I know you've felt this too, because I've been doing it for 30 years too, that when I first started this, like you were saying, everyone was laughing and thought you were crazy. And now when I go into like a community event and I sit down, people will come up and sit next to me and start telling me their stories or start asking me questions, and because they know that's who I am. So I'm getting a much more respect as an elder, and as they have questions, or their minds are more expanded, the younger generations, and to take a look at this again, a refreshed look.
Sure. Recently, I had an interview with a religious Jewish fellow from Israel, who is a rabbi, and they was supposed to come, another big rabbi was supposed to come and meet, just to confront me. And I was very happy that he will join. And because the citations that I have, are irrefutable. Because they're coming from the Bible, the original Bible. If you say they're not true, then you're rejecting the whole thing. But he didn't show up. Not only he didn't show up, he doesn't want to meet with me. For 35 years, I am lecturing. They have done everything, even coming to the halls and taking out the Jewish people that want to listen, that they will not listen to that. I mean, I have invited them, and every time I do a lecture, I invite rabbis and I invite members of the Jewish community, Jewish scholar, to come and confront me. And I told them, please, if you think I'm ridiculous, come and show it. Try to prove the opposite of what's written there. They don't show up. They don't show up because they cannot prove the opposite, which means the Elohim are an extraterrestrial civilization. There is no one single God. There are many. And all the messengers of the Elohim, the prophets that they have killed or jailed, now there is the last chance to welcome the long-awaited Messiah who the Jewish people are waiting for, and that's the last Elohim messenger, who is Rael himself, who is the word, the base of his name, the roots of his name, is the roots of the word Israel. And without roots, a tree cannot live. So if Israel doesn't recognize Rael as the last messenger of the Elohim, as the messenger of the Elohim, as the Messiah they have been waiting for long generations.
Can you give us a quote in the Hebrew, in something? Let's say if I'm just playing devil's advocate here a little bit, but it's like if I came to you and said, "Okay, prove it to me. I want to see it in your book." How can you prove me?
I can send them to you anytime, and you can share them with the people. I have maybe 30, 40, 50 more citations.
That's fantastic. I love that.
Them to you. I can share them with you.
Oh, share a couple with me. I would love that. Our listeners would love that.
PDF, and I will send it to you, and no problem.
Okay, very cool. Very cool.
Maybe.
Well, so let's talk a little bit about in defense of cloning.
Yeah, well, the human cloning is the only way to reach eternal life. Because as I mentioned before, the Elohim have reached a point that they live only between 700 and 1,000 years without any disease in a young body. When this body reach between 700 and 1,000, that is getting start getting diseases or sick or getting old or whatever, they take a cell of this human being, they clone exactly the same human being. They transfer, they have a way, as I explained, the same way we can download a memory from our old computer into the new one that we buy. They have technology to download all the thoughts, all the knowledge, all the souvenirs, all this person had in his brain into the new body.
Mhm.
And the old body disappeared because they don't need it anymore.
Right, right.
This is the way you can be eternal, you can reach eternity by cloning.
Oh.
That's the only way.
And in this, I'm just going to play around here a little bit because we can. Okay. And that is like, if, what do you think of the concept of that we are really the ETs we're looking for? That's really that we are an ET in a human body, but we're actually from an ET perspective, an off-planet perspective.
Well, I think if the extraterrestrials, the son of these extraterrestrials had children with women of the earth, we must have some of their genes. But I don't believe that maybe it's possible, but I cannot certify that because I don't know. And I don't want to tell you any lies or whatever, you know, thing to tell you I'm not sure about it will be unfair. So I believe that it's very possible, not I believe, it's very possible that we, some people are extraterrestrial living among us, or they're part of this Elohim that are here to help as well. But just, it's an idea, like we can share thousands of hypotheses here, which are maybe true or not. It's not, what I base myself is on the messages Rael received from our creator, the Elohim. And as I mentioned, you can have them for free. You can download them on www.rael.org.
Right. RAEL.org.
EL.org.
Yeah. Yeah. And it means Israel, which is Israel. You're just trying to make it more real, right?
Yeah. There is a connection between that because he is real, he is pure love. His teaching that is coming from the Elohim. He have been traveling worldwide and teaching us with so much love, so much energy, you know, devoting his life to the message that the Elohim to carry.
Right. And so
save and help humanity. That's Rael, and we have all our respect and love because of the hard work you have been doing. And, you know, it's a privilege to help him and be with him and support him because he deserves that.
Yeah.
He's alone, and today we're thousands of people worldwide.
Yeah, and so you have a life of service as well, Leon.
Sorry?
You have a life of service as well.
What do you mean, life and service?
Life of service to humanity by doing the work that
course.
you do. Right?
I mean, when you reach a certain level of consciousness and you know that we are all part of the whole, you cannot deny people, you cannot understand or admit that people will be starving and others will be, you know, living in luxury and having yachts and all that. I mean, a human being today that is multi-billionaire, like you have Bill Gates and many other people, Arnaud in France and others, what are they expecting for? They're going to die like everybody else. What they want all that for?
Right, right.
They figured out that Arnaud, who is the biggest billionaire in France, with all his, I don't know how many billions he have, if he would have shared his wealth with the entire French population, every French person will have 9 million and something. So
I double dog dare him to do that.
Money, take this money, help people in Africa, help people in India, help people elsewhere, you know?
Yes, yes.
What is your goal of living that way?
Yeah.
To keep money, to buy, you know, to buy what? How many houses you can have? How many lives you want to have? How many cars you want to have? How many slaves you want to have? Because people are bending on him like he's a boss. Bill Gates the same, and others are the same.
Right. Right.
What for? What for?
Yeah.
What level of consciousness?
Yeah.
Control the world? What for? I mean, you
It-
cannot control nothing because we're just renting the space for a little short time. We're here for a very short time.
That's right. That's right. Well, if we're going to come here and have this for a little short time, we're going to shake some things up, though, Leon. Right?
We're going to keep going as long as we live to
Yeah.
share and peace and
Yeah.
the message of our creators to welcome them in peace and harmony and save humanity, because there is no other way out.
Yeah. And I think they do ways of saving us from ourselves by just their telepathic thoughts that they place in our head, right?
Yeah. I mean, we are guided probably, and
Yeah.
there are guides of guides, who is Rael, is here to reveal these messages to us.
Mhm. And in meditation, it's a good way to keep that connection really strong.
Absolutely. Meditation is that's why we can meditate a lot. It's very good to meditate a lot and to meditate for peace,
Mhm.
and also to gather together like we do it.
Yeah.
To meditate, at least we have our planetary meditations every second Saturday, every 2 months, which I will forward you with that, and you can share it with your followers.
Oh, I will for sure.
All join and meditate for peace. Our meditations are in English and translated in many languages as well,
Right, right.
instantaneously. So, I mean, let's do our best and we will get away.
Yeah, and if we just hold hands, or that's I'm just being shown, we're all holding hands. We're just all holding hands. Wouldn't that be nice? I mean, to just go in anywhere and just hold the hand of a stranger, and it's just it's acceptable. It's not weird, and it's not, it's a beautiful thing to hold the hand of a
This is
stranger.
why I'll have asked us to make free hugs. First of all, to give a strength to someone is pure love. And the second thing is that enforce our immunitary system, our immune system.
Oh.
Of course,
Mhm.
because we need bacteries. It's not like we shouldn't wear a mask and be a distance of someone, like, we live with viruses. We live with bacteria.
Yeah.
We have it inside ourselves. In our guts, there are billions of them. We cannot live without them.
Yeah.
They cannot live without us. So we are part of a whole.
Mhm. Mhm.
We're full of bacteria inside. And if they leave, we're dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of course.
Mm.
It's all matter of understanding. It's all matter of raising our level of consciousness. It's all matter of loving and understanding, mostly understanding and caring about each other, and caring about our planet, caring and living the instant,
Right. Walking our talk. If
It's gone. Tomorrow, we can disappear in 1 minute.
right, right. And we can
sleep and wake up tomorrow, or just have another attack in the next 10 minutes or so, or in the next minute. But what's important is now.
Yeah, present time.
Now.
And if we can be 100% present and not checked out, but 100% as a soul, as a being that's amazingly beautiful, creative, love-centered, juicy being, and we're in this amazing body with all these senses and wonders and creativity.
It's up to us, Barbara. It's up to all the people that are your followers. It's all those who listen to this revelation, to rise, to stand up, and together, hand with hand, to make our civilization better and save humanity.
Yeah.
Because that's the way out, the only way out. Because the truth is out there, it's not here.
Yeah. Yeah. So for our listeners, where would they go? They would go to rael.org. But let's say they go to your website and they want to join your community or find out some more. What would that be like for them?
For all the countries, in any country they are, in all languages they want, they can reach anyone they want. I mean, if you want my email address, I can give it to you.
Oh, okay. What is that? And I'll put it up.
Let me put it on the chat for everyone.
Okay, I will. What is it?
First of all, our website.
rael.org.
There you have it. Then if you want my email address is .l.mel.
Okay.
First letters of my name @l.org. And then you can reach me directly and I can share any documents we have or whatever with them. And we have leaders in each continent that can contact them, and we have national leaders of also and regional leaders, and people in charge of different countries worldwide.
Mm-hmm. And so if they want to be a part of it, what are some of the things that they would do? Do you have seminars? Do they
first of all have which are seminars just to develop our happiness, our inner love, the beauty, because it's not just the outside that counts, it's what you have inside.
Right.
That's what we should develop. That's the first thing. The second thing is that those who have read the book that they can download for free on rael.org, there are those who recognize the Elohim as our creators. There are 4 ceremonies during the year in which, first of all, the first one is the date where Rael met for the first time with this extraterrestrial giving the message, which is December 13. That is the second encounter he had with the Elohim, where they took him to their planet on October 7, 1975, and that happened. So we celebrate December 13, we celebrate October 7, we celebrate the first Sunday of April, which is the date the Elohim have created the first human being. And we celebrate August 6, which is the anniversary of the Hiroshima bomb, that it will never happen again.
Oh, that's good.
That's our New Year. Our Raelian New Year is on August 6.
That's good.
Anyone that have read the message and want to join and want to help Rael and want to recognize the Elohim, they can approach a guide, like many worldwide, and this guide will at 3 p.m. in any country in the planet, the Elohim have some UFOs or some computers open around, and there are habilitated people to transmit their cellular vibration to this computer, like they have recognized the Elohim as our creators, and the Elohim recognize them back. What this authorized person or called guide is doing, he waved his hand, he put his hands in cold water, put one in the forehead of the person, another one behind, and he can transmit the vibrations of the genetic code, which are unique for every individual. And the Elohim computer, they can take that, they can cap that with vibrations, and they are recognized by the Elohim as someone who have recognized them. It's very simple. And we don't have any religion. We have some recommendations from the Elohim, like fasting once a week to keep our body clean.
Oh, that's a good idea.
It's like doing Shabbat or something like that. I mean, Shabbat, we're eating like pigs, but that's okay. Well, that's most of the people do. They go to pray and then they come home and eat and eat and eat again.
Hey, I'm a foodie. We got to watch that there, Leon. I'm a little bit of a foodie myself, so.
But to respect ourselves and our body, we should give him rest at least once a week. So during 24 hours, we just drink water and let our body relax. Meditation, like when we wake up in the morning, to meditate, to be in contact with our cells, which are the ones that compose us, because without them, we're nothing.
Right.
That's meditation. What I do also, and many people do also, I thank the Elohim for being alive, for waking up. I thank him for this message they gave to Rael. I thank Rael for bringing us this message of love and to raise our consciences, because if I talk for myself, I become what I am today thanks to him. Because he's the light of the Elohim on this planet. And he have enlightened us with this message. It's a message of hope. It's a message of peace. If it's a message of fraternity, it's a message of that can save humanity. You know, we can save those who want to be saved by themselves, but we cannot save those who don't want to be saved.
Right, right.
But we will do our best and we will keep trying.
Right. And by having a life of service, what better way to teach than by doing yourself, right? By living that life yourself, right?
Of course. Practicing what we have been taught. And not keeping it just for ourselves, like a secret, or like, you know, we want to keep it because we know and the other one doesn't know or don't deserve. Like I had a lecture with a rabbi a couple of months ago. Well, the other one didn't want to show up, but that doesn't matter. And he told me, no, what we have in the religion is we have 4 faces, and one of them is a secret. What secret? I tell him, what for you want a secret for? Because there are things people shouldn't know. I said, why? If you have a secret, is that you have something to hide. If you have something to hide, it's because you don't want people to know the truth. And the truth is what I am telling you right now. No, that's not, because Rabbi so-and-so, which was a grand rabbi, he say that and that and that. But he was a primitive, you know, that was his understanding.
Right.
At the time of Jesus, at the time of the other one, at the time, these people didn't know what was a bicycle. How can they understand when they see a UFO landing? They were ignorant. They had no technology, no science, nothing. They were just, there are verses from the Bible saying Yahweh, who is the most important of all the Elohim, is asking someone, what do you see on the sky? He say, I see a flying scroll. And the flying scroll, it gives the measurement, which is 20 meters long by 10 meters wide. I mean, the guy that have never seen a bicycle, how can he understand that thing is a flying saucer or a flying object?
Well, again, it's kind of like when Christopher Columbus came, you know the story when he came into the cove for the first time, and the natives didn't see him. The shaman was able to see him because his mind was expanded and he was open, but most of the inhabitants couldn't see the ship. They just couldn't see it at all. And then once he just started describing it, he had one follower and another follower, and then it's that domino effect. And I know your work has definitely made some domino effects here on the planet with your good service.
You're trying on your side, I'm trying on my side, and everybody that have a level of consciousness that is developed a little bit and open mind to understand, we'll try. We will make it together.
We will all make it together. I love that.
And we need to take hands and go together to build this embassy and welcome this civilization, which are our saviors.
I'm excited about it. I'm really excited about it. So I really encourage our listeners to take a look at it. Have your questions. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and email Leon, Rabbi Leon Mellul, and he'd be happy to answer your question. So this, my friend, my new friend, I can tell, this is the end of our show. So 2 hours went by really fast.
Opportunity, and it was a pleasure to be here with you. And anytime you want, you can contact me, and I will be more than glad to have other interviews. And if you want to organize something with other followers or a discussion or a forum or whatever, I'll be more than glad to assist. It was really a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you. Same here. Appreciate you and your work, and we'll stay in touch for sure. Thank you to all of my listeners tonight for being a part of bringing your energy and your love to the Cosmic Oracle Show. We will be back next Friday, and I don't know who I'm having, but I know it'll be someone amazing. But you're going to be a hard act to follow here, Leon. So thank you again, and thank you to all the work that you do. And we from Cosmic Oracle Show wish you all the best luck and speediness. I think there's a degree of some let's make this happen, okay? And what we to do, we'll make it all together, right?
May I suggest something, Barbara?
Yes.
Your followers or people who are in the audience, that take just 1 minute to meditate for peace.
Yes, let's do that. We'll start there with you, okay?
So let's close our eyes.
Okay.
And think about ourselves, our cells, and imagine faces from people all over the world. Imagine all animals, plants, trees, and the entire humanity. And let's send love and peace to everyone. All together. Let's send them our vibrations of love. And let's reach everyone out there, all lives on planet Earth and on other planets as well. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you
So much. A great evening and good night, and we'll meet again for sure.
We will for sure. Thank you. Good night, everyone. Thank you for tuning in.